akwaba eba Melodies TV so ye wo ha na mebe report ema mo se ekuo bi a ye from Center for Citizenship almost ye from Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems me na mentio mudinda census na ekuo we de akwa akodan Supreme Court se eye committee a yate a ye pese ye de eyi Chief Justice free ho no committee no ejuma wo moye no Supreme Court enye den wombongu. I told you say every step along the way MPP for ever tried your try bia. Na about an hour ago or 2 hours ago ena Melodies ebusu ni be friend me katrem say breaking news aba na say ku no yabo mo nsem egu nti no memra me report e wo so ena me katrem ni ba ko say no problem me dana say. So this is the report I am doing on the matter. I'll bring you some interesting side. Omudu court no. In Sembia Coco PM work or DC or court or no. Now when says I dear we in no. It's funny. But as somewhere ya no more can say abuebia be wa or pre no. That's exactly what we are saying. At ya say. Na me mentiasie. It sebe umraso ni etu efifie na by force so mbeso be pene meanwhile fie ne kra no enye ode asem krani. Anyway, let's read what went on in court, the decision the judges arrived at. Now see, the Supreme Court has dismissed an action filed by the Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems, which sought to reverse President John Dramani Mahamad's decision to suspend the Chief Justice and to halt the work of the removal committee. The decision was reached by a 4-1 majority of a 5-member panel chaired by Acting Chief Justice Bafuboni. Inti judges setena case ne so no 5-4 eka se yembon semnigu ena bako ka se ensemni yensum. Now we see the majority votes came from Justice Tanko Amadu, Justice Yoni Kulendi, Justice Henry Kofi alongside the chair. However, Justice Yao Asaredakun dissented, resulting in a split 4-1 decision. Inti oha judge setena case ne so no Bafuboni, who is the acting chief justice, or no, or ka say nkrofo nsemo mde aba na aba bi anim Justice Tanko Amadu, or no so okasa aba bi anim Justice Yoni Kulendi. And you see these 3 judges, surprisingly these 3 judges omo no mo ye sa atete omo no mo ye judges omo Supreme Court a omo ye seniors ati ase omo no mo ye judges na omo wo ho ansana Chief Justice we any the new ones are President Akufo-Addo di omo no e di omo bae ati ase. Now one thing na sa current Chief Justice we here and say most of the cases and that's 3 judges see we you omo free most of the controversial cases in this country na enkolano and the new judges are no more about Supreme Court na no isu omo na omo ma unanimous inti as a case we aba no amaye hu ne say those experienced judges no most of these cases new cases eba no omo no tena so inti sa 3 judges na bonsem ni guye na judge ba ko so fe no Henry Kofi ono so boguye ba judge ba kwa ye frɛ no ya Asaredakun ono dissent ye inti na say ye 4-1 ti ya Asaredakun ne de no ofo ankrofo ne so na we enye otan ba judge your friend ya Asaredakun no minya na nka maybe send the simple question in grofu petition on the by article 17 na wo mu gina so no eno hu na wo de ka se grofu no omo wa asem no yawajo and I say or shed I say oh I don't know maybe hu ne say oh ye mfa bi nche omo no mu hu ne say we enye unanimous because when I say article 17 which talks about discrimination. Say ni pakro no your binding ye pesi ye ni free officer. Say baby of free ni pesi ye ni free officer without any proof. And no na judge ni gina so awoka say okay nkrofo no the article 17 aba na article 17 ti gina so na chief justice ni yensansoma nembra. E na judge ye frɛ no justice ya Asaredakun efo aso say ani ono de or agree based on article 17. That's quite interesting. Yeah, ye ni memra kra ye read article 70 ye hu say sebe na nyansa bi anim no. And no na judge make us okay or no they will who answer woman no. Maybe that's why we are not lawyers. That's why we are not judges. Because for me, Article 17 now or the buyer or mobile court no. Nanka outrightly unanimous was see a bomb sim Article 17. For people who don't know, I'm going to read Article 17 for you again. Because I don't understand why there should even be 4-1 that a judge would dissent. Yes, majority are carried here, but I seriously don't understand why a judge would dissent. Article 17. Article 17 of the 1992 Constitution. Wow. Any Article 17 of the 1992 Constitution we all read here. And then a judge no first so original so waka say based on sad winning or no the officially say nanka Chief Justice no or onka Article 17. This same Article 17. Because in Crawford case on the by ye babe redeem amu obiati ye. And they were basing their case on Article 17. Let me read Article 17 for you once again. Article 17, you know, or say all persons shall be equal before the law. It not just say judge no for also say case where be Chief Justice case where be Chief Justice no. Ye treating the say when ye equal before the law and where in this process has the Chief Justice been treated that way? Now can you quite say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or my Chief Justice ne responded? Chief Justice ne throw a letter ka say yema ne responded. Amo ka say yema ne 7 days. But His Excellency John Dramani Mahama cried the 3 days that's also man. So where in the process and the say Chief Justice no she wasn't treated equally before the law. Because in Crawford quote Article 17 can say all persons shall be treated equal before the law. Na judge ba ko trimu say ono de one in Crawford ya adwa na say judge ne judge ne na adwemu no ohun say the Chief Justice was not treated equal before the law. Inti process no hefa and a Chief Justice yen treating no equal before the law. Article 17 also can say a person shall not be discriminated against on grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social or economic status. Se nipa krono wo ye ohiani nipa krono wo ye oba se nipa krono be bia wo free Chief Justice wo ye fantini ono ani krom through a year global info analytics for ono ani krom in the central region for no omo kra air for aso say Chief Justice no yen yin free ho ono ani krom for kra ese yonko inti sa decision ya ka say ye suspending no was it against her gender where in the decision e trese oyo banity ne yi na free ho where in the decision was it against her race say wo ye bibini ni nti ana inti sebe Ghana ha yenya friend say Chief Justice oyo broni da inti say judge bi F1 Crawford so anatre say judge no for aso say Chief Justice ni ye yi no ebia oye bibini ni nti ufu aso say ye yi no because oye bibini. Meanwhile ye mfa broni bia oye Chief Justice and ye no na ede say ni tuntum say oye Kristo ni nti say the entire ye Chief Justice dey feel say because judge dey can say wo for aso there. I don't understand. Yes, say 4-1 there, but the judge who dissented, I don't understand. Why did he dissent? Because the Chief Justice was, Article 17 no, not just say Chief Justice no, in judge no for also say Chief Justice no ye Kristo ni nti ni ye na free ho na. And I say na bra wa boni nti ye hu ne say won bo brandu sa level no ana o ye sikini too much and I say me nti ase if in Crawford Bakoti koti Article 17 na judge for our so dia I want to understand where the judge baby our form so no I seriously want to get it. This is Article 17. Article 17 nini all it talks about is equality and freedom from discrimination. And these people mainly quoted Article 17. Said the Chief Justice is being discriminated against, even though there's no evidence to show. But then the judge is agreeing with them. So the judge actually agrees that the Chief Justice is being discriminated against. This is... Hey, Jawajo. Yasemu. Justice ya asare dakun. I see. I want to do something, right? Maybe ye bibi. O dear, Yantuaso, and Yahweh. I say, the Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems, a civil society organization, sought to contest the constitutionality of Torkornoo's removal process. This followed President John Dramani Mahamad's suspension of Chief Justice Torkornoo on April 22, 2025, after a prima facie case was established against her based on petitions from private citizen Daniel Ofori, senior police officer Ayamga Akogo, and civic advocacy group Shining Stars of Ghana. Among the reliefs they sought was a declaration that the president's response to the petitions was unconstitutional, citing violations of Article 17, 1 to 3. And I've read Article 17, 1 to 3 to you. So I'm going to say, President responding unconstitutional because of Article 17, 1 to 3. And we've read Article 17, 1 to 3. You've seen 23, 296, and 146, 1 to 4, and 6 of the 1992 Constitution. Article 146 in there. Extensively, we've dealt with it on this platform, so I don't even want to go to it again. I say, the organization contends that the process lacked due process and failed to uphold constitutional principles of fairness, non-discrimination, and lawful administrative conduct. The dismissal of the suit by the Supreme Court follows a similar case on May 6, 2025, when the court, in a 3-2 ruling, rejected an application to injunct the removal process and lift the Chief Justice's suspension. Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni, along with Justices Yonu Kolendi and Amadou Tanko, delivered the majority decision, whilst Justices Henrietta Mensah Bonsu and Ernest Jau dissented. So basically, no. This is the story. This is the breaking news coming through right now. Say Chief Justice, no. The case ekuono edebaye no yabo moeku by 4-1 majority decision. You see, but one thing is a majority decision of 4-1. Even if you go for appeal, because so called appeal, the say we have 5 judges, right? In the appeal, no, you the 2 judges back on. In this 2 judges, no, omudima okrana. Those 4 people are not going to change. It's likely said they are not going to change their mind. It is still a bare 4-3. Into no in Crawford, yes, or more appeal now. Obiabe Hune say it's just a process to sort of put a stick in the wheel of what it's just what they are trying to do is to just put a stick in the wheel of the process, just to sort of stop the or what I said to slow the pace of this whole thing. But no, this is what is going on. This is what has happened. What I say, it's breaking news. Abba Chief Justice Ninsen Semno. Breaking news no. But seriously, I still don't. Maybe I have to get the full court's document, the full judgment, and maybe we have to get a full judgment and then read the judge who dissented, the reason why he actually dissented when these people were coming with article media and yes and no and some no de court no. I don't have a problem with some of their court, but Article 17 now omukoti na judge na for so am say indeed Article 17 no or judge me feel say okay, yeah, Article 17 yes no because serious what I say na mesri na yen grofo hi na ma asem ni wo Article 17 na makenkan atrel no this whole process no Article 17 judge afwa wo so that's serious, that's interesting, but it is good. It's good that at least 4 judges ni yembo mudimbium, Justice Tanko Amadou, Justice Yonu Kulendi, Justice Henry Kofi Atiasie, and then acting Chief Justice Bafuboni. But interestingly, all these judges are omotina case ni so omobo assembly gu no. All these judges were appointed by NPP. You see, that's the interesting thing. All these judges were appointed by the NPP. Atiasie. And let me say this. I like the fact that because you see a lot of people felt say because it was one of their own intino, probably maybe the judges were going to go at war with the president. You see, that was what Afenyomakin was expecting. Embra, almost say Wamoka setia the process. Nancy Afenyomakin yatin in kache. Membra mo yes Omoka setia the process no. Afenyomakin especially. He told the judiciary. In fact, that was why Afenyomakin Embra MPP for a year the whole demonstration a womo ye no. Afenyomakin echo judiciary ho eno catch the judiciary say stand up for one of your own. And that was the seed they wanted to plant in the heads of the judges. Say we the yamu nipa mon sorry na mon protecting no. Intimate judges na baso the fact that they are not seeing it say ye nipa nti we di bone kra na yem protecting no. But the omu di case no finchim ehun ne say ye nipa de nanso case no se ne aba no emfa ho so ye nipa onye ne ye nti no what you say yema president ne nye de obeye no. I seriously acknowledge that from the judges. I seriously like what you say, that fairness and that honesty from the judges. Because a lot of people were thinking that these judges, they were just going to protect their own. But clearly, almost should say they are not in for that. And no amen the MPP for Asha say kasa say sa judges sikra no ase na ye omo ya say no mo na no mo person mo ba beda ne eye chief justice and ye kokofa omo junior in the person of maame no intia no more time maame no the MPP for Asha say kasa nsem no is the reason why. But ye bebo judges na baso. But sa judge na wo decent in there me there I'm not saying anything against him, but I just don't understand. I seriously just don't get why he dissented. And American, we'll have to read the court document, his ruling, and understand why he had to dissent. Montreal, your comment box, Nimo. That's it.